Hi, everyone. Good day. My name is Raf Janisha. I am a social entrepreneur and an advocate on waste management and reduction. So, for today, I'd like to share with you some of the stories that I've learned along the way. Specifically, how can waste management and reduction solve the climate and food crisis? Things that we normally do not connect with each other. So I'd like to share with you a quick story. Um, One of my companies is called Make a Difference Travel, and we work a lot with Indigenous people. In fact, I'm actually at a summit now where I will speak alongside some of the elders in Subic Bay. It's a sustainable tourism summit, and this clip shows what I've learned from them over the years. Development for them means taking care of bodies of water and the land. In this photo, there is a large company offering the community development, but the development that the community was looking for had other parameters which today are becoming more popular and definitely more needed. And so I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak to all of you because I know that the companies in this room are all moving towards this goal of keeping people and planet balanced. So just a little background about myself. I have run several businesses, and perhaps the most recent experience I had winning the Apex Circular Economy Award um, kind of showed me where recycling and waste management might need to go, right? And so let me just share with you that the paradigm I'm looking at is a paradigm that includes regeneration of economy, um, right? We look at community, society, nature and environment, economy, and people's personal well-being. These are the tenets of sustainability, and if you go beyond them, the tenets of restoration or a regenerative economy. You know that the Philippines is one of the hardest hit by the climate crisis. We might be number one, but maybe that's debatable, but definitely in the top five. And single-use plastic is one of the challenges of our time. Um, in the city, we're producing 700 grams per person per day. That's times 30 million people. And in the countryside, we're producing 300 grams per person per day. That's times 80 million people. That is a lot of plastic waste, right? And I believe that it's safe to say everyone who's in this program today has probably used some single-use plastic, right? Definitely, I have used my fair share, right? Um, and it affects things we love. Like this photo. This is a photo of my friends and surfing in Siargao. But plastic is getting into this, right? And so my surf instructor, a good buddy of mine, Paolo Soler, took this photo a couple of years ago, and it really triggered me. It triggered all my surf friends because we earn from the ocean. Because my first business was a surf hostel, so clean waves were what made people come to visit my humble accommodations. And here, it's full of waste. And when we tried to, I guess, look for the culprit, we started to research. And what we found was that trash was just everywhere. And so um, this river in particular, right, you see so much waste. It's crazy, right? And the waste that was going into that river, people ask me, where is this river? And my response is, it doesn't really matter, right? Because it's going to go into the one body of water that connects us all. And that body of water will have fish. We all love fish. I definitely like my sashimi, my bangus in the morning. And this video, the plastic is already inside the belly of different fish, right? So, did you know that if corals have plastic trash on them, they are 89% more likely to get sick? And did you know that if you have 1 hectare of coral reef, that produces 1,000 kilos of seafood per hectare per year? And so with this simple slide, we're showing how our plastic waste, if it ends up in the ocean on a coral reef, destroys the fish supply in our country. And guys, ladies, fish is so expensive today, right? This used to be everywhere. We are in the Amazon of the oceans, right? But today, a lot of the reefs have turned into something like this. Not so nice, right? And so it comes from the insight that I've had the opportunity to experience is that people do not take care of what they do not understand. Until I learned how to snorkel or scuba dive, I did not appreciate what was underwater. I just thought fish come there, I can throw my waste in there. But when I learned more, I started to realize, oh, wait, I should take care of this, right? Another thing that I learned recently during the speeches of the other APEC entrepreneurs is that 1 kilo of plastic in the process of its production releases 3 kilos of carbon. And we know that carbon equates to heating, and heating equates to the phenomenon now called global boiling. As an example, in Florida, ocean temperatures surpassed 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 37 degrees Celsius. That's our body temperature already with a slight fever. That is not good. And, you know, it's just in Aurora province, we've also reached 60 degrees Celsius. And so what some of my friends and I did initially was to launch a campaign on segregation and education to get people going. And I'd like to share with you our BBC feature, which was featuring our La Union program. So take a look and listen to what happened.
When I talk to people in poor communities, they think that a plastic wrapper for biscuits is the same as a banana peel.
So in the interest of time, what we did was we would segregate, and then we tried our luck at using the plastic as a construction material, right? So these are some of the brands that came out. I'm sure we're all familiar with these brands. They're very popular. And we locked the trash inside the wall. We used a little art to make it cool. That wall's still there today. It's 5 years old now. And that's 1.5 tons of plastic in the ocean. So we continued telling our friends, our neighbors, hey, segregate. So we built more structures, built our surf bar with plastic trash as well. We got to 10 tons, but it's not enough. It's a drop in the bucket, right? And so jumping from that idea, how can you use waste to build? And, we're going to keep building. We're going to double the number of cities by 2050 or something. This is where I had the chance to join Green Ants, right? Who does an amazing job of creating an avenue for circularity, right? And so if you're building a home, you're probably going to use hollow blocks. Those blocks can be substituted with blocks that are not hollow, that use 7% plastic, and are up to 6 times stronger than standard blocks. So basically, it'll withstand a category 4 or 5 storm. So here's a quick video about that.
kailangan po magpulot ng basura para po hindi na po maging sanay ng mga taghahapon. Yung basura po pwede maging bahay. Nakakatulong pa po tayo sa ating kalikasan.
You know, the simplest solutions are often the most effective and most beautiful solutions. So Green Ants got it. And there are several products. In fact, the hostel I showed you earlier, the one that got featured by BBC in La Union, we're renovating it now using some eco bricks and eco cast, right? And just to share with you, it's actually a pretty good product because we were able to ask Nadine Lustra's boyfriend, current boyfriend, to do a drop test, and here it is. Yeah, so you can see there are different kinds of plastics that Green Ants will take. I'm sure most of you know about this already. So please do give clean and dry plastics. Dirty plastics are not allowed. Just take a picture of this photo so you can use it. And products have been used and are starting to go mainstream, including McDonald's and Shell, right? And perhaps something that, you know, definitely we need to applaud is the fact that last year Green Ants only took in 53 tons of plastic, but with your help, with other people's help, the company was able to take in 500 tons, right? And so if you try to calculate how much new virgin cement you prevented, that's about 450 tons of CO2 from cement. Just a rough calculation, right? So really, recycling can have impact on the carbon story, right? And with the EPR law coming to life, full force, it's definitely something that we need to continue pushing forward, right? Now, this talk I'm giving, I've been giving it since 2016. And in some of the talks and places I've given to, people have just changed policy, banning plastic spoons and forks, banning styrofoam, banning takeout cups and everything. That it was great that organizations were able to change, schools were able to change, right? And change is so important because this photo symbolizes what is wrong with our society, where everyone is dining in and still using takeout cups. We're creating trash unnecessarily when we could just wash our spoons, forks, knives, and plates. I don't understand why. I hung out in this coffee shop for 6 hours to just look at the behavior and observe. So our mindset about plastic and other kinds of waste needs to change. Again, what people don't understand, they don't take care of, right? And the other side of the coin is that we have to start realizing that our environment is also our economy. And I think that large multinationals like Colgate will know this because a healthy supply chain comes from unhealthy environment. And so here are some things that, you know, we hope people do, right? Not good, using your plastic packaging. Better is compostable. But the best really is to just go reusable, right? You can also go with bamboo toothbrushes. I believe Colgate might have one as well. So anyway, there are options all over the world. I hope this concept picks up. It's clearly not popular yet in the Philippines, right? And these efforts are nice, right? But again, 500 tons, big, but not big enough. And so I can share with you, I actually joined Rotary Club to see if I could help, right? Because there was more scale there. And this is where it gets interesting. Pasig River is an estuary with a two-way flow that connects Manila Bay and Laguna de Bay, right? Manila Bay is 199,000 hectares, and it's our hometown. And many people have considered it dead. I know I did ever since I was a child because we never swam in it. It was dirty, right? But if we use the calculation that I showed earlier and take data from the Smithsonian Museum, you will realize that Manila Bay, if it's healthy, can produce 2.9 million kilos of seafood per year. That's a lot of seafood. And because Manila Bay is connected to Pasig River, which is connected to Laguna de Bay, the total ecosystem food production will hit 4 million kilos of seafood per hectare per year. That's a lot of food, 4 million kilos a year. You can feed millions of people with that kind of seafood. Not to mention, you will also make a lot of money in the Philippines. We can instantly reduce price of fish, right? But this is our reality. This is what we're swimming in because our minds aren't educated enough, aren't empowered enough, right? And so just to share one story that the Rotary Club did was it worked with the Yacht Club and the ENR to try to clean up Manila Bay, right? So at that time, there were a couple of partnerships moved, and there was a drop in the coliform level of bacteria in Manila Bay because a sewage treatment plant was built at the mouth of Manila Bay, right? So you can check this. Lots of articles online. It's solar powered, still powered to this day. But of course, this plant had trouble too because lots of plastic and other kinds of trash coming in, right? But one plant brought the waste water, got it 75% cleaner, right? And so that's a big step, but it's not enough. But with these efforts already, you start seeing fish growing in the Manila Bay. You start seeing birds chirping in the Manila Bay. I just did an inspection a week ago of Manila Bay and Pasig River. There's life there already. Not that I'd like to eat the fish there, right? And it can be a very nice tourism spot as well. Imagine that, right? You're just pictures of other people fishing from the bay, especially during COVID, right? And what's happening, or what's happened in the last year is that different private members of the club have bought these floaters. DENR needs the support. They're lightweight, but they have heavy duty performance, and they're helping clear up a whopping 330 tons of trash per month, right? And this is something that we hope to replicate. The DENR estimates that you could get to 660 tons a month in Pasig if you have enough mechanical tools and workforce there. And that's just the start. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I hope you guys are able to help and contribute, right? So 660 tons. I'm showing this to you because I'd like you to understand that there are efforts happening on the ground, that many people are starting to move, and that we have to start moving towards a certain situation where people understand what they're doing. Because we still see a lot of people recycling or segregating, but they don't understand why, right? And understanding why can help. And so this map overlays the source of all the trash. Southeast Luzon upstream, Northeast Metro Manila plus Rizal, Central Luzon. There are 178 upstream cities and towns, including our home, I'm sure, that affect Manila Bay, Pasig River, and Laguna de Bay. These are places where we need to change behavior, right? So these 4 areas, Laguna de Bay, Pasig River, Manila Bay, upland air streams, whether it's the mountain or in the city, they're all connected. And we need heroes who will change usage behavior during 1, buying, the creation of waste, 2, segregation, and 3, disposal of waste, right? There are 3 steps here, and we need change in behavior at every level, right? Not just one of them, right? I like balance because really solving this issue, which I'm sure is close to all of our hearts, and as you can see, close to our pockets as well, is that we must reuse, upcycle, and reuse. We must recycle, upcycle, and reuse. But we also need to reduce the waste, and we also need to produce the alternatives that will allow us a lifestyle that is free of waste, right? So our city, our country, it's interconnected. Water from the forest, the plastic waste, it really depends on the choices that you and I make. The question is, what is your choice, right? I've lived my last 6 years without buying bottled water, also with using a picnic kit, right? And I estimate that I save 18,000 pesos a year on water, and that I also reduce my plastic footprint by about 90%. Even in buying chips, I've decided to buy more natural food, fruit, hard-boiled egg, got my tote bag. I know it's not for everyone, but I'm saying it can be done, right? And the actions I'm taking come from a love of country, come from a love of nature, which I'm sure you understand. And so I think each of you can do something. Let's make a difference for people and planet. And I'd just like to make a call. If any of you want to volunteer or join events, we will be having some in Pasig River, Manila Bay, and Laguna de Bay, because we want people to learn and understand, and there's nothing better like seeing it firsthand. And we want you to develop love of the land that, we've almost lost. And so let's work together. Let's make things better. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you had a good day. Please follow us on Instagram, Mad Travel and Mad Earth. And don't forget to follow Green Ants as well, online on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So thank you, everyone, and have a good day.